So much of what you do and what you're scared of doing is affected by variables which are actually in your control. So much of the time we overhype things like cold calling, like getting on sales calls, like these big tasks to us that seem very hard. The main thing when you're tackling a task like this is to realize that other people have done this, conquered it, and to them it's a little thing. For example, when you were learning to ride a bike, you probably thought about it every night before you went to bed. Every time you got on the bike, your legs were wobbly, you were super scared, but you felt like there's something on the other side of this. Now, once you go and get on a bike, there's nothing to it. You get on the bike, you get on the pedals, and you kind of just start pedaling easily. There is nothing to it. It's the same with these hard things like sales calls, cold calls, learning new DM outreach strategies. It's all the same. At first, it's this massive daunting task. Like when I was starting cold calling, holy crap. I was scared to death of doing this. Like, I kid you not, my first cold call took an hour and a half to complete. I sat down in front of my desk. I sat here and my the guy who got me set up doing cold calls, he had me on go high level. I sat down looking at these screen. If you've seen it, you know it. You can click a button and it will call the contact. That's what they're called in go high level. So I'd click it and then I'd hear the did and then I'd hang up. And I'd be like, ah. And I'd click it and it'd go did. And I did this for an hour and a half. And at a certain point, sitting there, just like agonizing over this, I'm like, okay, what the heck? In that day, I had to do at least 100 cold calls. So me waiting, dragging my feet was only detrimenting myself. So at one point, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let it ring. So I picked up the phone. I called up this guy. I'm like, hey, is this the owner of this name? Terrible tonality, totally butchered the call. Anyways, something that kind of surprised me is he didn't tell me to say, he didn't say F you. He didn't get super mad at me. He's like, actually, no, we're really not interested in this right now. Yeah. And then he hung up. And to me, like to a lot of people, that would be like a big loss. But to me, that was a big win because I had overhyped this thing in my mind to the point where it was this mountain that I couldn't overcome. But when you actually like look at it, what cold calling is down to the fundamentals is you're picking up a phone, well, not even a phone, you're picking up a piece of glass and you're talking to a voice for a minute. And out of that, you might be able to book a call, and out of that call, you might be able to make some money. So really, it boils down to this task that is accomplishable. And once you start doing it, it's actually doable and it's actually a lot less scary than you think. But going up to that, it's just such this big wall. But the main question that I had, because I knew this, you've got like everyone talks about this. Every big YouTuber, every guy on the street, he's like, yeah, I know I can do it. I just have this limiting belief. I feel like it's too hard for me to overcome, or they even know they could. They know there's that potential inside of them, but it just is hard. And I think when you when you come into something like this, where it's a hard task, and you just can't do it. You're like, I cannot pull myself together to do it. It's just forcing yourself to not leave that spot until you do it. Because I did all the accountability things. People say, post it on your Facebook. I'm going to do this. I'm starting a business. I do that and I delete the post. I think it's really important for you to develop a mindset where when you say you're going to do something, you do it. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. And I'll hear that and it'll go in one ear and out the other because I know this because this happened to me for so many years. But what this means is if you have to do 180 cold calls, you sit down and you don't leave this chair until you make 180 cold calls. Doesn't matter if you have to go to the bathroom. Doesn't matter if there's emergency in another room. Doesn't matter if your house is flooding. Well, maybe if your house is flooding, you should go downstairs. But the point is, you should be there. And if you say you're doing 180 cold calls, you do them. And when people say do 180 cold calls, do so and so amount of cold calls, they don't say make the perfect cold calls. Like, honestly, I'm on this group right now. It's Imperium Academy. And I just posted my cold call metrics. I think at the time I posted, I had like 4,500 cold calls under my belt. Still beginner, super new. My average booking rate was around like 0.5%. It was trash. But when I posted that, I actually received a response that kind of was funny to me because everyone wasn't talking about my booking rate. Like a few people were, but a lot of them were like, yeah, I just wish I could be like that. I wish I could do that. That's really cool. Way to go. Go G. And really, it's such a simple thing. Like my booking rate sucked. My conversation rate sucked. My pickup rate was trash. Every metric that could be on there that could be bad was bad. But people see the work and they see the hustle, and there's some kind of invisible, I'll say, credibility past when you see someone's doing the work. It doesn't really matter if they're achieving, like, the results should come. But if you see someone grinding every day in their basement in the gym and they're not ripped yet, you're not thinking, oh, like, you still have respect for them. Even like you see someone, there's all these things on YouTube where people go from fat to fit. I've seen these on my like YouTube shorts. And that is inspirational. And no one's actually judging those guys. No one's like, man, you're fat. A lot of them are like, man, I wish I could do that. And really, all he's doing is he's going in and he's putting in the work. And the results come after that. So you really don't have to be stressed out about the result of it, which is really why a lot of the times you're not doing something. Like right now I'm learning Instagram outreach. And I avoid it like the plague. And the reason, well, I should say I had avoided it like the plague, and I still kind of do. Because if you've done Instagram outreach before and you've done it manually, you know you have to reach out every hour or so, messaging people. So I have a reminder every hour I go on and I go to send these messages. But I get on and I'd sit there and I'd be like, what do I send them? I genuinely didn't know. But then I just started sending messages. Like I didn't care what I was sending because I realized there's hundreds of thousands of accounts on there, all that have my ideal customer profile. Why am I stressing out about this one? It doesn't really matter. Then my message could be absolute dog water garbage. But as long as I'm putting myself out there and I'm actually messaging people, I'll get better. Like with time, I will get better. Even like I'll say, honestly, I dropped this YouTube channel off for a long time just because I really was trying to figure out what I was doing with business. And I feel like I felt almost imposter syndrome because I was posting videos on things I had no idea about and with no credibility behind that. But now that I'm going to start posting again more frequently, these first few videos, they will be crap and no one's gonna watch them. I hope they do, but likely they won't. And it will be repetition for months and years of me doing this, just posting on here before I actually gain an audience. And that's just the reality of it. Like with this video, this is fairly low quality. It's not very well edited. Music's kind of trash. But the main thing is I'm getting it out there and like something's being produced. And if you do that in repetition, things will just happen. So you really like being scared of cold calling. It's a legitimate fear. It's terrifying. And I'll tell you, I could tell you a million things. Do this, do that, do this, do that. The honest truth is that I'm still scared when I start a cold calling session. It just is what it is. So kind of just got to get out and do the work. Anyways, you guys have a great rest of your day.